Namaste dear ones. Today I want to talk about the kind of yogas that have been followed over the ages. There are of course several other variations of all these, mixture of all these together, but I want to take the quite top category ones so that I can quickly explain. Pre-Krishna, before Krishna, Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga and all, people were much cleaner. And those days, many people, especially who were born in Brahmin community and all in India, they used to take up spirituality as their profession. Meaning, once they become 5 years old or something, they would always be sent after knowing the God and self and all these. So they would naturally by default follow the yogic processes and all. At that moment, people were much cleaner, and they did not have any, they did not need any interference of nature to involve in their yogic process, because they had minimum required soul energies. So they followed Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and all. And there was a classic Kundalini Yoga. It is classic Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga only, but it's classic one, meaning they pierce through, for some age, for some hundreds of years together, they pierce the earth chakra, and then they go to the Swadhisthana, water chakra, and then they go to Manipura. For hundreds and hundreds of years together, they do this process. And those days they used to live somewhere around 700 years, 800. The body used to live those many years. And you can remember actually Brahmarshi Vishwamitra, who became Brahmarshi, he was just a normal king, and then he became Brahmarshi. So he pierced the chakras for about 4,000 to 5,000 years. He worked on his self-realization process, and then he became Brahmarshi. So classic Kundalini Yoga that he followed, and he invented Gayatri Mantra. So that's the process of classic Kundalini Yoga. This one, classic Kundalini Yoga. Now after all those years, when the time of Krishna came, by then people were more corrupted, a bit more corrupted. So Krishna came up with the technology of Kundalini Kriya Yoga. Kundalini Kriya Yoga, what he used to do, the technology that happened with him, I am saying that from the root chakra he used to pull all the energies and all, and he used to talk, and he used to apply his divine energies coupled with nature, and then he used to control so many other energies in the world, and he also used to play the flute and all, and he used to take people into deep meditation just by playing the flute. Flute he played because he by a mixture of air, breath, plus also the life forces, all the 5 life forces, he used to pull the energies, and then with that emotions and all, he used to leave those vibrations into the air, and then they go hit the people, and that would put people into sleep, and they would think that it was sleep actually, but he used to send them into deep meditation, automatic deep meditation. People used to get up and say, hey, what happened? We slept. He used to say, he never used to reveal the secret. He used to say, yes, you all guys have slept. In the same way, he used to play in Vrindavan with all the, it's a more divine secret Leela that should not be discussed here. So even with those girls and all in Vrindavan, he used to apply this Kundalini Kriya Yoga. 100% he had. Top notch Kundalini Kriya Yoga, he had the technology. And when he left, then the Kali Yuga started, the time of Kali Yuga started. And this Kundalini Kriya Yoga, that technology is totally lost. And even this Kundalini Kriya Yoga, when Krishna was there, he was the only one who was having this technology, and no other souls, human consciousness was not ready to accept this technology. And after he left, for thousands and thousands of years, this Kundalini Kriya Yoga is dead. And again it was reinvented by Agastya Maharshi. Agastya. The whole technology of Krishna came to Agastya. The whole technology of Krishna came to Agastya. And from Agastya again it got filtered to Bhognadar. There was another Siddha. He is the guru of Babaji. And some of it, 80% of it went to Bhognadar. And both of these were married people. And they lived for a few thousands of years. These Agastya invented alchemy was invented by him. Today we have medicines and all. He is the source. The language of Tamil, the Dravidian languages in South India were invented by him. And Bhognadar was the inventor of physics basically. He invented physics. Now whatever the science we have, he had such science earlier. He built using some engineering technology, he built the temple of Palni. Palni temple is a very tall temple. Those days he applied some engineering to build this. And he built so many yantras and all. He built the idol of Murugan with so many Ayurvedic chemicals and all. He built that Murti, her idol. And people even now when they go there, they do everyday abhishek and they put water on that idol, and then from idol some kind of chemicals will come, and if you take that water into your mouth, some diseases would go away. So he was that great actually. He is the one who left his body. He would simply leave his body. He would transmigrate himself to China. He would take up a beggar man who was ready to die. That body he would take up, and he started Taoism. He is the one who started. And Mayans, he transmigrated himself to South America and all, and he is the one who taught some basics of yoga, some technology to them, and Mayans got the technology from him. He was the guru of Mayans. So that's the history of these two great souls. After these two people, totally that's gone actually. There were so many Siddhas who came, even Patanjali and all. They did not have all this Kundalini. They only had very, very basic yoga techniques and all. And out of these, only 20% even Babaji got. This Kundalini Kriya Yoga. So from Krishna, it's totally fell down to 20% Babaji got, and then he also became a light himself, a golden body totally. And from Babaji, only 5% went to 5% or 4%, something like that, went to Lahari Mahasaya. And Lahari Mahasaya also wanted to implement it for married people. He cried a lot. Babaji said, I would give this technology only to unmarried people. But he cried a lot. So Babaji said, let's do this for all married people. So that's why Kriya Yoga was meant for married people. That's how Lahari Mahasaya started. So that's the story of Kundalini Kriya Yoga. Now let's come to Spanda involuntary Kriya Yoga. Now after hundreds and hundreds of years, some of the humans, they practice the Kundalini Kriya Yoga. This Kundalini Kriya Yoga through Paramahansa Yogananda and all other Anandas, they practice the Kriya Yoga to awaken the Kundalini. So whatever the Lahari Mahasaya gave some subject to Yukteswar Giri, and from him the subject came to Paramahansa Yogananda, and all they all implemented. And they evolved the human consciousness for few hundreds of years. Many hundreds and thousands of people followed this path of Paramahansa Yogananda, and they got evolved. Now, the human consciousness is ready for awakening the Kundalini automatically. That's when this Spanda comes. In the involuntary Kriya Yoga, Spanda is the preliminary level of, again, involuntary Kriya. Spanda is the initial level of involuntary Kriya Yoga. Spanda means vibration. That's what it happens to you people, and you slightly rotate like this. You rotate the hands, probably legs. Some people would even do asanas. Some people dance. They crazily talk, or probably they spin to certain extent like this. These are all the Spanda involuntary Kriya Yogas. Spanda involuntary Kriya Yogas are the basic ones which happen when the Kundalini is vibrated. Basically, it is the lid is open and it vibrates, because of which these souls will touch the beneath layers of the soul. Samskaras they touch, and when they touch the samskaras, they start doing all those kriyas. That's the initial involuntary Kriya Yoga. And that Kriya Yoga now happens on the earth with a couple of people. It happens with, there is one old man called Guru Siya Guru, they call him. He conducts mass meetings and all, and he initiates, he gives a mantra called Kling Krishan Kling. Kling Krishan King he gives. And then again he connects to only Krishna. That's the Kundalini Kriya Yoga. This layer he connects. And then he has one guru called Gangayanath. And he is also the follower of Krishna. So because of these two, some involuntary Spanda Kriyas happen in the people whoever go to meet this Siya Guru. Or he says, he shows his picture on the internet and says, you concentrate on my picture, and then the kriyas will start. Yes, kriyas will start because of him, and those are all initial level of involuntary Kundalini kriyas, and they happen because of Spanda. Spanda means vibration, just vibration. And now this initial level of involuntary Kundalini Kriya Yoga not only happens with this Guru Siya. There is one more person, I am not able to recall his name, but because he is the devotee of Meher Baba. Meher Baba was a guru actually. He was a self-realized great guru, and by following Meher Baba, he receives the energy from Meher Baba source. And then because of that source, many people would again have these Spanda Kriyas. Basic involuntary Kriyas happen in them. Basically, these two people initiate people into that Spanda Kriya, basic involuntary Kriya Yoga, and then leave. They don't teach any science and things like that. There's a big science behind this. They say that Kundalini itself will evolve you and things like that. So that's the way it happens with these two. Not only these two, some people who sit in cemeteries, those burial grounds and all, agoris. With those people also these Spanda Kriya Yoga, the very initial level of involuntary Kriya Yoga happens in those agoris also. Not only agoris, but also Naga Babas. Some of the Naga Babas who are evolved, in them also these basic involuntary Kriya Spanda happens. Now, when it comes to evolution, in the old ancient days, out of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and classic Kundalini Yoga, if some soul had to evolve to know the self or to know the God, they had to put in so many efforts of thousands and thousands of years they had to put in. Then only they would get the self-realization. Very slow process this was. And when it comes to Kundalini Kriya Yoga, this is again a bit faster than this classic yogic process. The Kundalini Kriya Yoga of Krishna is a bit faster. It will bring down to few thousands of years of evolution. And again, when it comes to Spanda, involuntary Kriya, it will bring down to few hundreds of years. Few hundreds. If you have this, and if you want to evolve just simply like that, it will take its own few hundreds of years. Not hundreds of years, few hundreds of lives I am talking about. These are thousands of lives. These are again much lesser. These are again hundreds of lives it would take. Whereas in the Manthan Kriya, what I am talking about is Manthan. Manthan means churning. Sat Chit. Sat Chit means the Sat is the truth and God, the pure consciousness, and Chit, your Kundalini or Jivatma and the mind and all these, they are they always like two cable wires. They touch each other, they rub each other like this, and the sparks come. That is, out of this the churning happens. The churning, what happens in the path of Omism is the churning not only happens in Kundalini, the churning happens in your mind level. That is the reason that before probably starting the Spanda yogas and all, people for a few years, for 4 years or 5 years, they would go through some problems and they would apply their mind and then start thinking about God and cosmos. You come across so many people, and out of that thinking itself, they think that they are self-realized or probably some phenomenon is happening with them and things. That is very, 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 very initial stage, because churning is just initiated in them. And then whereas here in the path of Manthan, then out of that basic churning, Spanda Kriyas will start. And these Spanda Kriyas, the basic ones, itself would happen for few hundreds of lives. I'm talking about hundreds of lives, not hundreds of years. And when it comes to the path of Manthan Kundalini Kriya, that is the path of Aumism. I call it Aum. I'll tell you the secret of Aum actually. So here what happens is the Manthan or churning continues for 24 hours, even when you are asleep, even when you are talking to the client, even when you are cooking, even when you are in the loo, or even when you are in the you are enjoying romance with your partner, even then, even when you are driving, this Manthan, the churning keeps on happening. The churning happens not just in Kundalini. The churning doesn't happen only in Kundalini. Like through chakras. This is the Kundalini and through chakras. Every chakra is connected to so many nerves in the body. And then the Kriya happens in all those chakras, in all those nerves.